Welcome to WikiPodcast. Today we're jumping into a deep dive on ancient Celtic religion. We've got a source here, thanks to our listener, the learner. It's the Wikipedia disambiguation page for Celtic religion.
Right, a starting point.
Exactly. So the mission is to use this page to clarify, what ancient Celtic religion actually refers to within that whole cluster of related ideas.
Okay. Yeah, and that disambiguation page, well, it does a key job right away for you. It makes a really crucial distinction. It shows that ancient Celtic religion, the historical thing, is separate.
Separate from what, specifically?
Well, separate from later things like Celtic Christianity or Celtic neo-paganism, even modern Druidry. It puts ancient Celtic religion in its own historical box, basically.
Okay, so first step, isolation. It's carving out that specific historical practice. That's helpful.
Yeah, it is. And then what's really interesting is where it points you next.
Right. Where does it direct us for ancient Celtic religion?
It links it straight to Druidry explicitly.
Straight link.
Yeah. It's not just like a related term. It strongly suggests Druidry was, well, central, maybe the defining part of the religious practice for the ancient Celts.
Huh. So if you're trying to understand what the ancient Celts believed, spiritually speaking, this page says, look at Druidry. That's the main path.
Precisely. Think of this page like a signpost at a crossroads. It's not the whole map of the area.
Yeah.
It's clearly pointing down one main road for ancient Celtic religion, and that road is labeled Druidry.
Okay. And the fact that both those terms, ancient Celtic religion and Druidry, probably have their own big Wikipedia pages.
Exactly. That tells you they're complex topics. What we're doing now is just sort of reading the signpost, setting the stage based on this initial pointer.
Got it. Like the page is saying, start here with Druidry if you want the ancient roots. Now, it also mentions Celtic rite on the page.
Yeah.
How does that fit in? Is that related to Druidry or something else?
That's a good catch. Seeing Celtic rite there, well, it hints that things weren't necessarily uniform, There were probably different expressions, maybe regional variations, different liturgical practices over time within that broader Celtic world. It adds a layer of complexity.
So not just one single thing, even back then.
Likely not. But importantly, this disambiguation page, its primary function here, is to make that strong initial link between ancient Celtic religion and Druidry. That remains the main connection it establishes first.
Right, so Druidry seems to be the core focus for the ancient period, according to this overview page, even if there were other related rites or practices.
Exactly. The structure of the page itself is kind of instructive, isn't it?
How so?
Well, it really underlines how important it is to use precise language when you're talking about Celtic spirituality. You can't just lump everything together. We need to be careful not to mix up the historical stuff, the ancient practices.
With the modern movements that might draw inspiration from them, like neo-paganism or modern Druidry.
Absolutely. That distinction is key. This page is all about that historical accuracy, separating the ancient reality, which it ties to Druidry, from later related but different traditions.
Okay, so wrapping up what this initial source tells us, if you want to get at what the ancient Celts truly believed, the starting point, strongly suggested here, is Druidry. And you need to keep that separate from later Celtic spirituality.
That's the core takeaway, yeah. And it immediately brings up the next big question, doesn't it?
Which is?
Well, if Druidry was so central, what actually was it? What did they believe? What did they do,
Ah, right. So this page sets the direction, but the real exploration starts after this.
Exactly. This disambiguation page is like the doorway. It gets you pointed correctly, but the journey into that fascinating and, frankly, quite mysterious world of Druidry is still ahead.
Well, even just clarifying that initial direction is incredibly useful. It cuts through a lot of potential confusion right from the start.
It does. It provides a necessary framework, a way to navigate the complex landscape of all things Celtic and spirituality.
Thanks for listening. Write us in the comments your opinion on the episode and what other topics you would like us to talk about. Subscribe to the channel to help us reach more listeners. Thank you and have an amazing day.